guys, it's Julia and welcome back to my channel, and for today's video I'm going to be doing another recent reads video. I believe this is up to my 5th one now, but I have read quite a bit of books and I could make like 5 separate videos, but I thought I would just talk about up to date a bunch of them in this video, so this will be more of a longer wrap-up, I guess. Debated whether or not I should go back to the like traditional wrap-ups at the end of the month, just because I have been reading more than I thought I would, but I don't know how reading's gonna go in September, so we're sticking with this for now. I have a ton of books to talk to you guys about that I've read in the past bit. So first up here, I have to talk to you about Fence Volume 2. So this is the second graphic novel in the Fence series. So this basically follows a bunch of boys at a private school and their fencing team, and we follow this one boy, Nicholas, whose father was like a really good fencer and like a champion, and now he got into this school and he's just trying to make it on the team, and he's meeting all the other boys that are on the team, and it's about the competition aspect, friendship, and also this new kind of school. Basically we follow all the relationships that go on within the team and the rivalries and all that stuff. Volume 2 I ended up giving around a 4-star rating. I really adore this series. I think it is really well written and it just has so much going for it, so I really hope it continues how it's going right now. Next up here I have I Wish You All the Best by Mason Deaver. So this story follows a non-binary main character named Ben, and Ben gets kicked out of their house and now they are not forced, but they have to go live with their sister who they had not seen for like 10 years. It's about Ben going to a new school and a romance that starts between them and somebody else, and it is just so great. And I love the characters in this book. I felt really connected to them and invested in their lives. I personally can't speak on the non-binary representation because I myself do not identify as non-binary. This is written by an Own Voices author, so I was really happy to read this. There is some people in my life who do identify as non-binary, so it was really nice reading this and kind of getting a perspective on it and learning just more about it, because I think it's really important to acknowledge and to talk about it more in literature. It's important that everybody can find themselves in a book and find a book that they can relate to, and so I think this is great for so many reasons. And not just the non-binary rep, but I also enjoyed the writing and the characters were really good as well. I felt really attached to them. My only complaint was there could have been a bit more to this book, and I know there was some discussion on if the bisexuality rep was, I don't know, but that I ended up giving this one a solid 4 stars just because I really enjoyed the book. I love the representation, I loved the story and the characters, and the writing was pretty good as well. So I'm really excited to see what Deaver writes in the future. But there was just something missing from this for me that would have made it a 5. But yeah, it was phenomenal either way. Up here I have Dear Wife by Kimberly Bell. I feel like I've talked about this one a lot, even though I don't think I have. Basically I was sent this by HarperCollins and I did a little Instagram thing with them for this book, so I picked it up. And oh yeah, I have talked about this in my vlogs. Okay, but so I ended up picking this one up. This is a adult thriller. This story follows Beth, who runs away from her abusive husband. Also follow Jeffrey, who is the husband of another woman who has gone missing. Follow the detective that's trying to work out these cases. So this story deals with dramas, lies, affairs, and missing persons cases and people being on the run. There is major trigger warnings for abuse in this novel, so please keep that in mind before picking it up. Was pleasantly surprised by this one. I really liked it. I thought it was really well done. I thought I had the plot twist figured out, but I didn't. So I was like, oh. And now looking back, it seems so obvious, but at the time, I was like, yeah, I know the plot twist. I know it. Like, try me. I can't wait till the end, like, proves me right. And then I was proved wrong. The multiple perspectives were done super well because you do go back and forth between different people, and I thought that was done super well. I love when stories do multiple perspectives really well. A well done book in terms of the writing and the pacing, and yeah, I overall really enjoyed it. I gave this one about a 3.75 out of 5. It was pretty good. I would recommend this if you're interested. Next up here I have Twice in a Blue Moon by Christina Lauren. So this story follows... Basically, Twice in a Blue Moon is a Christina Lauren book that comes out later this year. I received an ARC from BEA and I did not like this book at all. I had a lot of issues with it. There's a whole vlog where I just rant about it, so I will link that down below if you're interested. But I made a little review on a little sheet of paper and it's kind of funny, and it's like Tate is an actress with daddy issues and then Sam is this huge dick, and that's like all the so if you want a proper synopsis, we follow this girl named Tate who is an actress, and she meets this boy named Sam, and 14 years later they kind of meet up again and they have kind of a little fling in the summer, and then 14 years later they meet up again, and it's kind of about how their lives have changed since then and their relationship and what happened with them and why they didn't talk for 14 years. Descriptions in this book were so awful, and I know it's an arc, so this could change. Hopefully it changes, but just the way this was overall written, I really did not enjoy the writing in this. There was a lot of descriptions in it that bothered me, such as, you know, he's as wide as a road, he's like 8 feet tall. There was so many things about this book that were just, wow. The characters were not great. I don't think they were well developed. I think this was a huge letdown, and I talk about it a lot in that one video, but I really didn't enjoy this. I would not recommend picking it up. I don't know if I'm going to pick up any Christina Lauren, except for maybe autobiography, but this was really bad. And I really disliked the characters, and the side characters were the only ones that were kind of okay, but I didn't like the characters, and it's not even like the characters were unlikable. I just didn't I didn't care about them, and I didn't like them. I didn't care about the story. I didn't care about the plot. The writing was bad. That's all I gotta say. Next up I have here is a graphic novel, and this is Laura Dean Keeps Breaking Up With Me. And this one's been floating around a lot, and I've had a lot of issues with this book. I've talked about it a bit, but this book received a 2-star from me, maybe a 1.5. It's a graphic novel I really did not like for a lot of issues that are more spoilery, so I can't talk about without spoiling anybody, so I'm not gonna say too much. I will have my spoiler Goodreads review link down below if you do want to check out the spoilers if you have read it. Basically, this does deal with toxic relationships. It's about this girl who her girlfriend Laura Dean keeps dumping her, and it's kind of about their relationship and like the toxicity of it, and then also our main character's relationship with her friends and things like that, and then the fact that they're in high school. So the art in this was absolutely beautiful. It does talk about, like, the book does talk about like sex and relationships, and I think that's all great, but there was a lot of issues with this. The art, stunning. The only thing I liked about this collection was the art. But the book skims over a lot of important issues that could have been addressed properly. It was just a lot of issues that I had with this book and how it dealt with certain issues, and I will link my review down below. I know I'm really on the unpopular opinion of this, so like yeah, I get people like this, so you know, maybe you'll still enjoy it, but I was just of the unpopular opinion on this one. There just was some cheating plots and other issues, and I could go on, but I don't want to spoil anything, so yeah, I gave this one 2 stars. Next up here, I read 5 mangas that I did a whole reading vlog on, so you will see me reading all of these and giving you my thoughts and which series I'm going to continue with. They're all first volumes. So basically, I read and reviewed Hatsuharu, The Girl from the Other Side, Love and Focus, If It's For My Daughter, I Defeat a Demon Lord, and Beast of Abigail. So I talked about all of these in a vlog that I'll have linked up on the screen, and yeah, give that vlog some love because I'm really excited about it, but I posted it like right before the reading rush, and I think it was just bad timing that I uploaded it, but I know those of you who have seen it really enjoyed it, so yeah, I hope you guys check this video out. Next up here, I have Between You and These Bones by FD Soul. This one I had some issues with as well. I just really did not like the story. I did not like the writing. I thought it lacked in a lot of ways. It was just a really standard one, and a lot of the poems I just had issues with the writing and the topics that were discussed and the messages that were kind of portrayed. I had some issues with. So I would not recommend this one as a poetry collection personally, but if it sounds interesting to you, you can pick it up. It does also have some like nice illustrations in it as well, and it is a new release if you're interested. Next, I read the graphic novel Sheets. So this one is so cute. It is a middle grade graphic novel that is just this little ghost and this human and this little ghost, and it's just what made this book for me was the ghost. The other characters were kind of okay, but I love how cute it was with the little sheet that was the ghost and how they felt invisible and things like that, and I think it talked about a lot of important things like that and not feeling like acknowledged or feeling invisible in society, and especially growing up, which I thought was a good thing to talk about. I also loved hearing about the world where these ghosts come from, and that little bit of backstory I just really enjoyed. The main character also developed throughout the story, which again was really nice to see. I think this needed something else just to give it that little oomph, the little moment, but it was still really nice. It had a cute little message to it. Not my favorite out there, but if you do have it or see it at the library, I would suggest picking it up. I gave it a 3.25 out of 5 stars. Next up here, I read Undead Girl Gang by Lily Anderson. So this book came out like last year or the year before, and I was super excited about it. I got it in my Page Habit box. Remember when Page Habit was a thing? But I was super excited to read this because I heard it has a Wiccan main character and it deals with witchcraft, and it's like a contemporary, but it also kind of has this resurrection zombie component to it. I was so let down by this. I had so many issues with this one. Basically, I was talking with Rhiannon from Crescent Reads while I was reading this, and we both are witches, so we were talking about how we just think this is a really bad representation for it. Okay, so this book does follow this one girl who brings her best friend back from the dead, and while doing that she also brings back these other dead teens, and so she brings all these people back to life because she's Wiccan. You know, apparently Wiccans resurrect people. Okay, that happens, and then suddenly from there everyone's bitter. They're like, why did you resurrect us? Like, or they're just treating her like shit. I'm like, she literally, why are you treating her like shit? Like, you got out of the ground, you're welcome. I think this was fun. I see why kind of people may have liked it, but on the other hand, it really lacked in terms of the actual portrayal of witchcraft. And I would have been okay if it was a fantasy book and it was like, oh, like the depiction of witches, and it was like, oh, okay, like they have this powers and this powers, but this was portrayed to be Wiccans in modern day society, and that they could resurrect people, and just some of these things. I had a lot of issues with this book. I ended up giving this 2 stars. I will probably not pick up anything this author writes in the future, but yeah, this was super disappointing because I thought I would really like it because it was like witchy and stuff, but this let me down a lot. 7 or so books I read for the reading rush, so again, I'll have my reading rush wrap up link down below for you guys. So the next book that I read was a graphic novel, and this is called Il Defo. This is a graphic novel memoir inspired off of the author's life as she goes deaf and has to wear hearing aids, and her experience of that in middle school. So I thought this was really nice. It's a middle grade graphic novel that explores these topics, and it talks about, you know, going to school with hearing aids and what it's like to be deaf and to have to deal with that, and some of the stupid questions that people ask. And I just thought this was really well done, and I think this is a book that I would have around for like my future kids to read. I think just it's really important to have more awareness for this because, again, I don't know one other book that has a deaf main character, especially one that's not written from personal experience like this one is. Huge story of adolescence and developing your first crush and having friends and all the things that go with growing up, and that was just really nice. It's fantastic. It's gonna help a lot of people, and I think it's a great read for that reason. The art style personally was not my favorite. This is one of the only graphic novels I've read where the art style, I just wasn't a fan of it, but that's just a personal thing. You might like the art style. The story did lack for me in a few areas as well, but other than that, it was really well done and I really liked it. I think if you're interested, definitely pick it up. I give this one 3.5 stars. There you guys have it. Those are the books that I'm going to be discussing in today's video. Let me know your thoughts on them in the comments down below. I had a lot of unpopular opinions on some books in this video, so please respect my opinion. I respect yours, and let me know your thoughts on these books in the comments down below. I'd love to hear what you thought. I did have a few good reads in here, some good graphic novels, and for physical books, Dear Wife and I Wish You All the Best were also great reads. And yeah, I talk about a lot of these in vlogs and stuff like that, but I'm probably gonna be taking a break from vlogs just after the reading rush because I am dead. And yeah, so I'm not gonna be vlogging for like a little bit, but I wanted to do a wrap up and kind of just get you guys up to date on what I've been reading and my thoughts and ratings and things. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you super soon. Bye.